the first couple years of the band, it was just, you know, there were 4 of us in the group at that time. We were the road crew, we were the sound crew, we were everything. We'd drive in this van, you know, overnight, every night, and set up all our stuff, and then play long sets, and then pack it up and drive to the next place. And I mean, we did that for a long time. I mean, first year we were together, I bought a brand new van, and we put 100,000 miles on this van in 1 year. So nowadays, when we get to travel, I mean, you know, it's like we get to drive around in rental cars and stuff, and the crew goes and sets up all our stuff for us, and, you know, there's a guy who tunes guitars and changes strings. I mean, I never thought I'd have some guy changing strings for me, you know. So, I mean, it's a total groove now, and also the group has evolved so much over the years that, you know, the musical dues that were once a big part of it, I mean, of kind of sounding crummy every other night and all that, I mean, we sound pretty good consistently now, you know, and this particular edition of the band is very exciting for me because there's so much more maturity there on everyone's part. You know, it's funny because for me, I mean, I've been doing this now, I mean, roughly between 200 and 300 days a year since I was 18. I'm 30 now, so that's 12 years. For me, this is like my natural habitat, you know. It's like when we're off the road for a while, I can't wait to get back on the road just to get some rest. I mean, this feels more natural to me because I've done it for so long. Question of style for me has always been, you know, really minor. You know, I always, to me, when I listen to some music, the main thing that I listen for is this sort of intangible quality of I mean, if I get the sense that the people are playing the music that they really like as good as they can play it, then I usually dig it. I feel like my main obligation to myself and also to people who maybe plop down their 20 marks to come check us out or however much it costs is to play the music that I like. And I think that's more than anything else, the philosophy of the group. We play what we like. But now the technology, particularly in the last 2 years, has developed to such a large degree that it's hard for me to imagine somebody who's a composer not finding a use for these new tools in their musical lives, because it's just a new way of organizing your musical material. But one thing that is true, I think, is that the more involved I've become with electric instruments and synthesizers and all that, kind of ironically, the greater my appreciation of acoustic instruments and more traditional instruments has become. Because, I mean, you can sit there in front of a synclavier and mess around with knobs all day and finally come up with one sound that's sort of okay. And then you go over after spending 10 hours on this, and you pick up an acoustic guitar, and it just instantly sounds fantastic. So, to me, the most natural thing in the world is the combination of the two, and they seem to balance each other out in a nice way. I mean, particularly percussion instruments and voice seems to be great brothers in sound with electric instruments.